Let's start with our first question. As representatives of businesses of different sizes in our community, please share your perspectives on the current business climate in Huntington Beach. And the second part is, what do you see as the strengths, or what do you see as strengths and challenges for businesses operating here in Huntington Beach? And let's go with Jeff first.
Wonderful, thank you. Let me first clarify that we are in Huntington Beach. We haven't recognized Sunset Beach ever in our address. So we're that very last building down on Coast Highway, right before you head over the bridge and head into Seal Beach. So we're very prideful of being a big company from Huntington Beach. I'd also like to mention that I was raised in this city. I attended every level of education here, including Golden West College, Marion. So thank you very much. How do I feel about the business climate? Well, let me tell you that on our side of the business, we don't just generate volume from inside the city of Huntington Beach. We generate volume from the entire United States, as well as exporting to 41 countries. Today's information stream is very robust. I get sales data from Walmart on the hour. I can tell you every hour exactly how much Simple Green is purchased at Walmart. You can then extrapolate that information over Home Depot and Lowe's and some of the other reporters of that same information. You know exactly what's going on in the economy. We also get shopping cart size, and we also get frequency. So we know how often you're shopping, we know how much you're spending, and we know how much of it you're spending on our dollar. I will say, I think that the country is still in a little bit of a soft recovery phase. You'll notice that for most of the layoffs that are happening throughout the country, maybe even some here in our very, very fine city. We have not done that. We continue to hold course from that perspective in terms of our employee count. I think we're in for a rough slog into the second quarter probably of 2025 before we really start to see some recovery. And again, I'm using national and export data to support that. Huntington Beach itself, I live off Bushard in Atlanta. I've lived there virtually my whole life. I married my junior high school sweetheart. I spend every Sunday at Jack's, and I probably eat the most strips and cheese in this entire city because I love this city. I love what it stands for. I love what our city employees bring to us on an ongoing basis. And Gracie, thanks for your comments today. But that's my quick answer.
Yep.
Same question. Well, thank you very much. Me and my wife Heidi moved down here from the Bay Area about almost 20 years ago now. Owned and operated the local Huntington Beach grocery outlet. We are very prideful of that also. There's 3 locations near us. Fountain Valley is on the border, so is Westminster. So we are the only Huntington Beach grocery outlet, so we're proud of that. Business climate. What we're seeing right now is a lot of what the national trend has been. The inflation is hurting everybody's pocketbook from the top end all the way to the bottom end. But we're still seeing comp sales. So we're still seeing the customers coming out. We're seeing an increase in traffic because of the inflation coming out there. A lot more people are really stretching their budgets a little thinner. And of course, we're positioned just for that at 70% off branding prices on groceries. So it bodes well for us. The flip side of that is the cost of employing people has gone up. New year came up. Everybody's employment wages are going up. There's a lot of mandates in cities. Fortunately, not here in Huntington Beach, where they're mandating an even higher minimum wage. But we pay better than minimum wage because we expect better than minimum wage services. So, ring count is the only thing that's down right now. Customer counts are up, and comp sales are up. So the environment's very solid for us. We're looking forward to this new tourist season coming in because we're seeing more of the international tourism returning. Last couple of years, we haven't really seen that as much. We've been more staycationers, local people coming from around the area. We're seeing more people coming from out of state now. So we're really looking forward to a great spring.
And Dom, same for you.
Okay, so let me just first say I really hate mics, so I apologize. I'm Italian. My hands have to move. So I'm a small company. 80% of the companies in the United States, over 80%, are small companies like myself. Whether it's the person living and working at their home, or whether they have 14 or 16 employees like myself. Anyway, with that said, the business climate has been really strange for small companies, right? There's a transition from an office space to working at home. We saw a slower fourth quarter last year. We're seeing an uptick on the second quarter of this year, which is good. And our business does regional work, everything from Burbank down to South County, inland to Riverside. So we're not just focused in Huntington Beach. And we're seeing across the board, everything just slowed down a little bit. I think a lot of it has to do with, you're doing great. You're in the right market spot. As everything increases, people are looking for bargains. We're not necessarily a bargain shop. We're a quality shop that designs, prints, creates signs. We do specialty stuff, trade shows. So the trade shows are starting to come back a little bit more, which is nice to see. So from an environmental standpoint, we're seeing it slowly kick back, but I think regardless of what the market has done, the stock market's done very well. The general economy from a small business standpoint is starting to uptick a little bit. It's getting better. This I hate to use the word COVID, but the post-COVID scenario is a slow uptick, I think, for small businesses. You walk through Bellaterra, you walk through Pacific City, it's not as busy and bustling as we would like to see it, and that we hope to see it, but it's a slow uptick. So the city's doing a great job in modifying how to get permits through, how to get things flying to help businesses. I think that's a great thing, positive direction. And yeah, that's pretty much that.
Great, go ahead and keep the mic. The next question is building strong partnerships between businesses and the city is essential for fostering growth and prosperity. You started to hit on that toward the end. From your experiences, what are some successful collaborations or initiatives that have positively impacted your business, and how do you believe such partnerships can be further strengthened?
All right, great. Okay, so the city is on the right track, in my opinion. Now, I'm an old guy, and I've been around for 1,000 years. So I remember when the city and the Chamber of Commerce used to partner and create ways to collaborate, not collaborate, but educate. So there's a lot of small companies, myself, Sue, this room is filled with 50 or 60% small businesses. But how to navigate through the city, I'm gonna call it red tape. I don't mean it in a negative way, but there's a system that the city has that a lot of small businesses don't understand. So there needs to be a little educational piece with the city, municipality, county, and state that helps businesses navigate through. So I'll give you a quick example. I got inspected the other day. Okay, it's not a big deal. Somebody from the state comes in. They needed to inspect my compressors and permit my compressor. Okay, my compressor's in a box. I'll be honest with you, I'm a graphics guy. I started a business because I like to draw pretty stuff, not because I want to run a business. It's those little things that a lot of small businesses don't understand. And the small businesses don't have the resources to hire a PR company or to hire a legal team to figure out how to navigate through that. I think it's incumbent on the leadership of this community, whether it's another business, and that's why the chamber is so important, whether it's another business or our city management, to help businesses navigate through the minefield that is litigation. So that's that.
Well, thank you. So examples of partnerships with the city. Like I said, about 3 years ago, we started our business here in Huntington Beach. I want to give a shout out and kind of follow up on what the mayor was talking about with the cooperation with the police and the fire on fixing some of the issues that happen on our streets when customers become uncomfortable going in and out of parking lots, late night, people hanging out in the parking lot, that kind of stuff. We've always had a really strong relationship with the city. HP Fire and HP PD are both very consistent responders. We spoke early with the police department about, using non-emergency line and calling in anytime there's an incident. Whether it's somebody attempted to steal something and they left, we kick them out, we still call and report that. They want to track it, because guess what? They're going up and down Beach Boulevard, right? So if we call in consistently and just let them know, then when it's a true emergency and we call, we're going to get that emergency response. So we track all of that, and it really cleans things up, and they do it in a very compassionate way. So that was a very positive experience we had with the city, and I'm sure it's doing the same thing down on Main Street right now. They're very compassionate about it. We have good programs in there to help people that need it. Good programs now in place to help people that don't want it, right? We just gotta be compassionate about it. So good heads up on that program. I think more of that consistency is really gonna help the city quite a bit. Thanks.
I think partnership is what you make of it. The best example I can give you from this seat sitting here is I can count 11 attendees today that I serve on a various nonprofit organization with. And the reason that was so beneficial from a partnership perspective is that when the pandemic hit, I was serving on a board, and that individual let Jeff Lopez with the city of Huntington Beach Fire know that Simple Green made and continued to make disinfectants during the pandemic. We showed up to work every day and continued to manufacture. We immediately were able to make product available to the city, which was used not only in our paramedic vans, but also in the back of police cars, because there was so much fear back then of putting somebody in your car that could have COVID. But if we weren't participating collectively, I think the 11 or 12 of you probably know who you are or what board I serve on you with. If we didn't know each other, I'm not so sure that we would have built that partnership that facilitated a response and an immediate action, really almost overnight. Chief, you might remember that, but I think we got them product pretty much overnight, so they could continue to still do their job and feel some safety while killing that airborne virus. That partnership is again what you make of it. So the reason you're all here is because you're all good business people and you believe in the city, and I think that's part of it. Right, so a true love for the city that you work in is vitally important in order to build a partnership.
Thank you, Jeff. You've kind of transitioned into our next question, which is community involvement and corporate social responsibility, how important those are for increasing the importance of business here. How do you envision businesses, regardless of size, contributing to the overall well-being and growth of Huntington Beach, and how can the city facilitate and support these efforts? And I realize as I'm reading these questions that we're framed a little bit toward the city. What can the city do? But this question is really, what can businesses do to partner back with the city and really contribute to the overall greatness of the city?
A great question. I've seen a tremendous amount of ebb and flow of how much business development from the city participates with us, right? So in my 33 years, I have virtually had every mayor come by our building for a tour. We are the last building before you go into Seal Beach, and when you say homeless, Seal Beach dumps them on our side, and then somehow they walk back across the bridge, and then they get back on our side. So we do that on an everyday basis. But business development should be out and about in the community and asking, hey, what can I do for you? Okay, because we're the ones generating that tax revenue that helps build that budget that our city manager has to develop every year. So, from that perspective, it's very important that we raise our profile in the development department. I'm not so sure if anybody's here from development because I haven't seen one for 5 or 6 years in my building, but we are one of the largest revenue producing companies in the city. So that's pretty important. So I would say raise our game a little bit on the business development side. They should be just as active here as a chamber member is. I think that would be very beneficial.
What was the question?
Do you want to repeat it? I will. How do you envision businesses, regardless of size, contributing to the overall well-being and growth of Huntington Beach?
Really, it's about partnering with each other as much as partnering directly with the city. We're very local, where we serve our community and our subdivisions. We also have people coming back and forth, but I mean, when there's a local event, we want to be part of it. So a lot of times it's just letting your neighbors know that you're going to do an event. They're going to jump in and volunteer. We also do a lot of volunteer stuff. We do the Independence from Hunger campaign every fall. And we're raising money from the community to support food pantries and different partnerships and different youth associations. So partnerships is really the best way to go about it, but it's really getting to know your neighbors. Now that we're open back up again, I like to just walk around the neighborhoods and meet the new owners. A lot of the ownership has changed over hands, or the management has. So I mean, just saying hi to them is gonna help build that partnership. So that's one of the best things that I would like to see going forward is not just Main Street events, local events. I mean, we've got a huge city, it sprawls. We have national events, international events, and we have local events. I would really like to see that partnership in the more local events and get that microcosm going again.
Oh, hello again. Okay, so I'm gonna say two names right up front, Emmett and Fletcher, and I'll get back to that in a second. So, my wife and I run HB Digital. It's a mom and pop shop, right? Christy's the mom, I'm the pop. So, we love this community, and I can't say the word love enough. And our business is really a tool. It's not anything else for us but a tool. We love what we do, that's true, and we do a great job, that too is true, but it's a tool to help us create a full life, right? We raised our children in this town. We go to work in this town. I'm blessed enough to have my daughter and son-in-law living a mile from us, and my two grandkids, Emmett and Fletcher, are just a mile from us. Right back to Emmett and Fletcher. So, because of that, we're very involved with our community. On the Kiwanis board, I'm one of the founding members for the Huntington Beach Police and Community Foundation. I was on the 3-1 Foundation. We use our shop, our business, as a tool to make our community the best community that we think is possible. Everybody talks about growth. It doesn't have to be growth as much as it has to be quality, right? You have only so much room in your closet, you might as well fill it with quality. So that's what we're after, is just a quality of life that will be the envy of every other Southern California and US community. So that's our goal as a small business.
Thank you to all three of you. One final question for each of you, and it's about the chamber. So, what value has being a part of the HB Chamber brought to your business?
All right, so again, I go back to I'm an old fart. So with that said, I started a company back in 87, pardon me. It was called Spaghetti Graphics. Again, I'm a graphics guy, I'm an Italian, so it made sense. First thing I did was join the Chamber of Commerce, because the contacts I made as a graphic artist at the Chamber of Commerce were great. I met printers, this is before I got into the print game, but I met printers, I met companies. It was a nice way for me to network. Fast forward to early 90s when I joined, which was then HB Type and Graphics. I then joined the Chamber again through that company, again for the same reasons. What's the environment like in Huntington Beach for businesses? Who can I network with? And the reality is the word network is very cold and unmoving. It's really, who am I befriending? Who do I want to work with? Who do I want to invite to the table that is our banquet of business and sit down and do work with, right? So the Chamber of Commerce was really the ticket for us. And as we grow our business, and as we've lived through all sorts of economic up and downs, all sorts of pandemic up and downs, the Chamber of Commerce has really been a consistent. It's a great resource. It's a great way to connect with other businesses, but more importantly, with other business-minded people who know the feelings, the ins and outs, and the strife and joys that come with business. So, Chamber's great.
So, Chamber for us has really been obviously a great networking opportunity. And it really is about us being able to take our vision from that micro subdivision look. I spend most of my time focused on my neighborhoods. Without the chamber, I wouldn't know the rest of Huntington Beach. I wouldn't know about the events going on in Huntington Beach other than newsletters or looking it up on my phone. So really it's that connecting tissue and knowing what's coming, what's gonna happen next month, what's gonna happen this summer. And the regular meetings give us a chance to just kind of not just network, but to kind of make that connection so we can find the opportunities that will work best for us. So it really helps us expand our vision out to the entire city and to the entire community. And we start to realize that there's a lot of partners out there that maybe we didn't touch because they're not right in our neighborhood. So, thank you.
So sending product offshore means I need to have a certificate of origin. And so I need Tina. So Tina, thank you. It's very important to us. Your newsletter, the online newsletter, give her a hand. She deserves it. It's so fun to watch her just pop her head into our building every once in a while with that world famous certificate of origin so we can send something to Croatia or where am I ever going to be going. So that's very valuable to us. And then your newsletter, the email newsletter. Great job. Keep it up. Very important for us businesses. Helps us keep touch with what's happening in the city. And the update to the city website should be a huge improvement for all facets of what the city needs to accomplish.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, I represent the City of Hope Orange County. I'm the Vice President of Marketing and Communication, and I'm going to answer that last question as well. Everywhere we have a location, we've joined the chamber, and I think one of the main things that you talked about, relationships, networking, we have a different service we offer. Each of you have different products or services. We're in healthcare, but we're also offering highly specialized treatment and research for cancer. And I will say, having been a part of the chamber for the last year, I can count that it's been 3 people who I've given my card to at some point and said, hey, if you ever have, you or a loved one receive a diagnosis, reach out if you need help getting into City of Hope. 3 people have done that, and they're in active treatment right now. And for me, that is just, for me, that's really special because that's hope for them. And hopefully that's life for them. And that's the ability to continue living and continue to enjoy life and have all those moments with their grandkids, like as you mentioned. And so that's really special. So I think at even the very basic level, we're able to interact with each other and offer each other the things that we have access to and services and so forth. And I think that's a huge thing for the chamber. So thank you, all 3 of you, for participating. We'd like to take some questions from the audience if you're willing. And Mayor Vandermark, if you're willing to come back up as well, we'll add a chair up there. We don't have a microphone to rove around the room, so if you'll stand up if you have a question or just raise your hand and stand up, I'll call on you, and if you can just say your question nice and loud, I'll repeat it for the panel up here. Anybody have a question? Nobody has a question yet. All right.
Nobody has
no questions. Okay, I know this is always the awkward one. We should have had them write them down probably. All right, there is a question here. Yes, John.
You know I can't just sit here and not ask questions. So from your perspective, from the cities and the businesses, and also from your perspective, how can the chamber help you do your job? What can we do to help support your businesses? How can we support from students coming up maybe to be employed? What are some of the things that we can do?
So I'm going to repeat the question for the cameras. How can the chamber support you? What can we be doing to support businesses?
If you're all connected within your existing relationships in your companies, you could start serving up some interns, right? It's all kinds of things to be learned from us, these 3 white-haired men and the beautiful brunette at the end, right? So interns are invaluable in the workplace. They're harder to get than you might think. Every student nowadays wants to go to school abroad, right? Everybody's, I want to go to school abroad. I want to spend Spain, UK, whatever it might be. So within your networking, you could also offer up interns.
So to just capture a little bit of that, Ocean View High School has the Business Academy that we used to partner with at the chamber quite often. Great way to get involved, nice way to get youth involved in your company. I had a gentleman by the name of Ruben who worked with us for 10 years that we got from that academy. He was just a brilliant young man who couldn't put college together, so we helped him through it. And it took him a while to get through, but he made it through college, and he's off doing some beautiful things in our community now. That's one way. The other way is communication, John. You know, the chamber, if you look at the history of it, right, for 120 years, we've been the catalyst for almost anything that had to do with business in town. We were involved with getting Boeing in town. We were involved with the first business. We were involved with the origination of the Visitors Bureau. So the chamber has been the catalyst for all of that. And it only happens with communication and vision. So the more we communicate with one another, the more that we partner with the city, the schools, I think the stronger and better our banquet is going to be, right?
From my perspective, the best thing you can do for us is let us know what we can do for you. Because we don't know what the issues are. We're at City Hall, we're running around at events like this. But when you tell us what your issues are, we can actually step up and try to find solutions. We need to know. We want to help. Actually, finding solutions for issues like the ones our businesses have is a fun part. We deal with good and bad, but there's nothing more fulfilling than finding solutions. So let us know how we can help you. Most of you guys have my cell phone number. Don't email me, I might miss it. Text or call me, and we're happy to help any way I can. But just let us know what it is we can do to help.
Great. And John, I'll answer that question from a healthcare perspective. We have great healthcare here in Orange County, great healthcare in Huntington Beach. One of the opportunities I think we have is sitting right at this table with Golden West College. You all may not know, but it's one of the best nursing schools around that the Golden West College offers. And you might hear, for those who are in healthcare, well, you know, they don't offer the BSN program, which they actually do now, correct? And why is that important? In a lot of healthcare organizations seeking magnet designation, you have to have nurses, a certain amount of nurses who have their BSNs. But the program that's being offered at Golden West certainly is offering that. And you know, we have a massive shortage of healthcare workers in Orange County and across the country. It's a really big deal. We have a very tight market here in Orange County, a lot of hospitals being built, a lot more need in the community. So I think the chamber might have some opportunity to work with Golden West and really how do we leverage that great resource we have right here in our city to be the provider of those skilled people who are going to be needed across the healthcare sector and the healthcare industry in Orange County. So something to think about. Yes, sir. All the way back.
Brian, Orange County Labs. First of all, I just want to say this is a brilliant venue and phenomenal feedback from very sophisticated business owners. You understand how we feel. You understand the issues that we're running into. It's been a rough few years, you know. But from a small business perspective, I'm fascinated by, you know, Jeff's, you know, ability to have some really powerful data and analytics at his disposal. As a small guy, I don't have it. I have it for just my little niche, you know. And so my question is, what could the city of Huntington Beach or the chamber do for us as a small business to tap into like artificial intelligence technology or database data, just some analytics so that we can work smarter, not harder? Because I mean, we're working really harder than we probably ever have, but the margins are thin. So how can we leverage the data from a Walmart or you know, a local community or from a small business owner? How do you connect and tap into that technology that maybe Golden West College has? You know, or you know, the City of Hope. You know, you have really cool new technology.
How can we leverage for small businesses the data that's out there, the data that was referenced, that some of the analytical data you get, and that we all have in our businesses? What can we do to leverage that to help each other? And I heard you mention AI in there, and databases and so forth. So I'll start with it. Any of you have an answer to that? I've got something I can add too, but
Okay, I'll answer that first. It's very, very easy to go on the Caltrans site, figure out exactly how many cars are traveling up and down PCH. But it's very, very difficult to go on a website here and determine the median income of the people that live in the city of Huntington Beach. You have to, from your perspective, you have to know the audience that you're speaking to and what their price points and medians are in terms of their affordability. So the chamber itself, if they haven't done that, maybe invest in a deep dive into census information and make that available to chamber constituents. And then you kind of really know what you're working with then, right? And it's going to change from location, right? What the citizens that live around Golden West College are entirely different than the citizens that live around Walnut and Palm. So you have to know what you're dealing with. And census, you'll go crazy looking at the census, but there are ways to cull that information out of there and provide it to fellow chamberites.
So the chamber had a class, an AI class. So if you're interested in AI, the chamber does have resources like that. They don't happen every month, so you just have to be in tune with what's going on and keep an eye out for that. We call it the hulu, right? My shop is 2 miles from the beach. So my hula hoop, my sales hula hoop is a 10-mile circle. I'm gonna say 50% of my clients are fish. So it's not gonna work. So how do you get around that, right? So some municipalities, Huntington Beach is a little slow on this, but some municipalities have lists of new businesses that I get emails every month from a couple of the local municipalities of new businesses. That's an opportunity for my salesman to knock on a door, make a phone call, et cetera, et cetera. In terms of the analytics, it's tough. It's tough. What information are you mining? What's the purpose of it? Are you looking for median income of a house, or are you looking for doctors in an area? I'm not, there's 1,000 ways to slice it, and when you don't know personally, you just gotta hire it out. I know, excuse the terminology, I know that sucks, because we're a small business, every dime counts, but sometimes you just gotta buy it out,
I would just add that the chamber is a connector, so thanks for bringing up that we did do an AI session just recently, but our chamber is smaller. We may not have all the resources here, but we can be a connector. I think right away when you talk about data across Huntington Beach or the broader county, I think of the work that OCBC, Orange County Business Council, is already doing and making that available. And that's even a broader group of leaders, businesses from across the county that are working together with state, local, city officials, everything. So perhaps leveraging some of that data as well. But I hear you as a local chamber, maybe we need to talk about that with our members. And if there is something that we already have available to us that we should be leaning into and spending more time on, we can certainly bring that forward. So thanks for bringing that. We have time for one last question. Yes, sir.
Steve Barnes, FedEx Worldwide Services. For Gracie, currently, do we have any large employers that are considering Huntington Beach as a base for business? And the second question is, with the potential for the 2028 Olympics impacting Huntington Beach, how should small businesses expect to see an impact, and how should they prepare for that?
And to repeat the question real quick, it's for Mayor Vandermark, do we have any large businesses that are considering coming to Huntington Beach? And then second part of the question was around LA 28, the Olympics coming here. What can small businesses do, or what?
What could they expect with regards to impact, and how should they prepare?
Sure, so what can businesses or small businesses expect in terms of the impact, and how should we prepare?
So I'm not aware of any large businesses that are wanting to come here. I know I spoke to somebody from Tesla that said they needed some help. They were having some issues, and they were considering Huntington Beach. As far as Olympics, tourism, the Olympics will attract a lot of tourists, and then they will come to our businesses. So we just have to prepare for the influx of people and make sure that we have what they need. And we want them to come back, even like, for example, with the air show. People come here for the air show one time and they continue to return over and over. So we have to take advantage of that unique opportunity when the Olympics comes over to make sure that we're putting out a red carpet for them so they can continue to come back.
Awesome. And I know we have Kelly in the room from Visit HB who's working very hard on LA 28. So I imagine as some decisions get made with that, he'll be bringing that forth, and we'll be happy to share that here. Visit HB is also part of the chamber, and we'll be happy to share all that information. And perhaps that's a great direction we can go when we know more about really how do we help our business community prepare and be involved and benefit from bringing the Olympics here to Huntington Beach, right?
Let me just say one thing. Thank you for that question and observation. I want to tell you a quick story and then how the chamber can be involved.
You want to come up, Kelly, and just use the mic?
Can you hear me? Yes. Governor Jack Israel, when I was in Atlanta, came to me and I was with the Bureau. He said, "Hey, the Olympics are coming. How can I get a piece of this action?" So he went out. He was a specialty guy, Dom, and he produced 100,000 umbrellas for the games. It's going to be hot, maybe some rain. I get a call a week after the games are started in Atlanta. He says, "I got 99,500 umbrellas. What the heck am I supposed to do with these?" And the point of that is, I think the chamber can play a pivotal role in providing information and to understand what the games will bring, what it won't bring, and to be ready for that from a small business perspective and a large business perspective, and to be able to take advantage of that. And that will probably start several years before the games because the media attention will start to amp up on Southern California. And I think if the chamber and the voice of the chamber is smart, we can take advantage of that.
Thank you, Kelly. Appreciate it. Well, we appreciate all of you joining us this morning. Mayor, thank you so much for speaking and for joining us for the Q&A. Thank you to each of you as well. We really appreciate you taking the time away from your businesses today to share with us. And thank you to all of you for joining us this morning. We really appreciate you coming out. We appreciate your partnership with the Chamber, and we look forward to having you at future events. I do need to plug one event. So on April 12th, we have our gala event, and it's a denim and diamonds theme. So we're going to have a boot scoot and good time. We're going to have line dancing. We're going to have some country impersonators. We're going to have some great food. We're going to have dancing. We're going to have a good time together. So we'd love for you to come out and be a part of that. And I keep throwing down the challenge, but nobody has taken it yet. Somebody needs to come dressed as a full Dolly Parton. I don't care what age Dolly, just somebody should come as Dolly. So I've thrown it out there. I will dance with you if you come as Dolly. So I hope to see you all there. It's April 12th. If you're interested in signing up or registering or buying a table, you can talk to Tina or you can visit us at hbchamber.com. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day.